Quotations hold a lot of power. People tend to be more persuaded by actual quotes because they represent the thinking of someone with authority, be that an accomplished scholar or a humble research participant. When sharing a quote, you're essentially saying, don't just take it from me, take it from the source. This is one reason why it's so valuable to record and transcribe research sessions so that we can use people's actual words as we share our findings. However, I've got to emphasize one huge caution before I share a few tips for making the most of your quotes. The most important thing when working with quotations is to accurately represent the intended message of the speaker. Misrepresenting what someone meant is inconsiderate and dishonest. Okay, with that said, here's a few tips for getting the most out of your quotes. Tip number 1, clean up the quote. People tend to use a lot more words while speaking than while writing. They also tend to be less focused and less precise while speaking because they're coming up with what they're saying as they say it. So dropping exact quotes into our writing can sometimes feel confusing to our readers and unfocused without a little bit of cleanup. Examples of things that can generally be cleared out of a quote are filler words such as like, stutters and stammers, and repetitions of the same thing multiple times in a row as someone is thinking. Just make sure to replace any removed words with an ellipses, that's the 3 dots, to indicate something was taken out. Here's an example from some recent research on emails sent by universities to students. I didn't like this form of communication because it applied to what I think is a personally much smaller audience. The words, "it wasn't," were an artifact of this individual trying to think and speak at the same time, but they're not integral to the meaning of the quote. Simply replacing them with an ellipses will keep the reader from getting confused or distracted by these unnecessary words. Tip number 2, focus on the purpose. Long, meandering quotes are really difficult to understand because they lack context and the readers can't see the speaker's body language or hear the tone of voice. While it's often tempting to include more of a quote to provide that additional context, shorter quotes actually get the job done better. A short, focused statement that is padded by your commentary will be easier for people to understand and more memorable than a lengthy, complicated monologue. That's why it's so important to chop off anything that you can to stay focused on the main point the speaker was trying to make. Just remember, if you remove any part of a sentence to stay focused on the main message, just put in that ellipses to make sure that you've indicated something is gone. Tip number 3, add clarifications. In many cases, it's helpful to clarify what is meant by vague references. Because quotes are pulled from the middle of a conversation where the context was apparent, pronouns such as it, he, them, and so on are difficult to follow. Inserting little clarifications or replacing a vague reference with something more specific can drastically improve the clarity of a quotation. Here are 2 quick examples from the same set of university data I shared earlier. I am not super interested in it, so it didn't prompt me to take any action after receiving this brochure. Now, the word it is a little vague here, so let's insert what the speaker was actually referring to. Just remember to use brackets, not parentheses, to indicate that these are your words, not theirs. I am not super interested in this university, so it didn't prompt me to take any action after receiving this brochure. That makes things a little bit clearer, doesn't it? You can also just insert clarifying words or phrases that help to clear things up. Here's another example. This type of really quick information made me able to decide on a dime on whether or not this is the right fit for me. The speaker was talking about how quick and easy it is to find information related to universities he's interested in on Google. Let's make that a little clearer. This type of really quick information from Google made me able to decide on a dime whether or not this is the right fit for me. Hopefully, these tips can help you as you leverage the power of quotes in your work. Just remember, it's your responsibility to stay true to the meaning intended by the speaker.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at these over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website, nngroup.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our UX courses that offer live, hands-on UX training.